Hello and welcome to another episode of Socially Anime. My name is Kuma.
And this is Goke.
How you guys doing? We are going to go over the final season of Attack on Titan, Season 4, technically episode 61, entitled Midnight Train. And we are jumping head first into the water. So we start out this episode with a war council is what it looked like to me. The meeting of the bosses after the big battle we saw in episode 1. So overall, it doesn't look too good for the Marlians anymore, right? They're kind of looking at their military prowess and they're like, I don't know, man, like other nations are catching up, right? What do you think, man? Are Titans getting overwhelmed? Like they're not going to be important anymore?
Well, they're just saying the obvious of what we all saw, that they have some serious weapons. Just this one country has serious weapons that can destroy Titans. But it's more detrimental for the Eldians because they're obsolete. Everybody on the planet seemingly hates them, especially from their home country of Marley. So if they're the saviors, the true saviors of the country of Marley, and everyone already hates them and treats them like garbage, and they even talk about themselves like garbage.
Yes.
If they're obsolete as Titans, they're done for. They're done. They're done.
They're done. I have to relate this. I mean, we love doing this, relating it to history, but dude, how is this any different from, ancient war, ancient battles, right? When everything was basically melee combat. I mean, yes, you had bows and arrows, you had trebuchets, you had catapults at some point. War is always evolving, but what about, I always remember the Zulu and the presence of, I believe it was the Dutch, as they were colonizing Africa, and these Zulu warriors in hand to hand, they were unrivaled and unmatched. They could take out anybody, in a hand to hand battle. But they walked up to a Gatling gun, and these dudes who just ran a marathon to fight the Europeans, they were wiped out. So the evolution of battle, I mean, this is real life too. And they even talk about nowadays, of course, traditional war and battle, the trenches and things like World War II, that's all gone with the creation of what? The atomic bomb, the nuclear bomb. And so, man, it gets deep quickly. But to me, that's what hit me right away. And I was like, that's a realistic, real life, actual truth that happened. I mean, war and battle evolves. And if you're losing as another nation to the Titans, to the Marlians, to the Eldians, whatever, of course, you're going to dedicate all your time to how do we defend? How do we counter? What are their weaknesses? And I think that's where they're arriving in this conversation. So super deep, but so ridiculously accurate.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, it totally relates to all that.
I definitely agree. Our boy Zeke is definitely part of the council, and that's apparent right away. And he seems like he's pretty big, like he's got a lot of power in it. And at one point, though, he calls out Colt, and he mentions that he doesn't think that Colt will be able to inherit the Beast Titan. And I'm like, I wonder why. Am I missing? Like, is that apparent?
So yeah, Zeke is saying that he's afraid that Colt won't be able to inherit the Beast Titan's full power. He says full power, not power. He says full power. And the reason why he's saying that is maybe just to cover Colt's butt, because he's not letting them know that he is of royal blood. Remember, his dad is Erenjaeger,
yes.
And his mom, I don't remember her name, but she was of royal blood. So that's why he's able to do extra things with the Titan powers, like being able to yell and make different Titan and make Eldians immediately turn into Titan form. So I think he's just trying to save Colt.
That makes total sense. Thank you for that. I honestly didn't. I thought it might have had something to do with protecting him, but that's a great explanation. Thank you for that. So he's talking about this like term. They're like, how much longer do you have left in your term? Again, I might be the dodo bird in this, but I'm thinking military term. And I'm like, okay, wait, so maybe he's got a term almost like a politician or a general or something. And then I'm like, oh, no, that's stupid. They're talking about once you inherit a Titan, you can live how long? 9 years, right?
9 years.
Yeah. So then I realized, oh, no. They're talking about, okay, so our boy Zeke, he's dead no matter what in a year.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, okay. Definitely that went over my head for a second, but then it made sense. So Now, dude, the time is ticking. The timer is on. He's got 1 year. He basically gets them to agree that they're going to redouble their efforts to go back and take over Paradise Island. So yeah, that was super heavy too. And I was like, oh, it's not just a military term, it's his life. So way deeper, way richer than I initially had thought of. But I like that, man. I like that deepness to it, the depth in there.
And you know what? Another thing that I like is that they let us know, and maybe I missed it the first episode, but they let us know that it's been 4 years since the last episode that was in season 3. So my question is, okay, what's been going on the past 4 years? Where's Eren and Levi's crew, and where are all the people from Paradise Island? They mentioned that every ship that they've sent over to Paradise Island has been destroyed, but again, what does that mean?
Battleship.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He sunk my battleship. Nah, but okay. Anyway, so it's been 4 years. So where is Eren? All right, here's my prediction. Again, I haven't read the manga. I haven't seen episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I haven't seen any episodes or whatever. Here's my prediction. I think that Eren and maybe half of his crew are there in the country of Marley, and they've been there for the past maybe 3 or 4 years. And Armin is back on Paradise Island holding down the fort. So anytime one of those boats come, he, throws some rocks like our boy Zeke does or something like that. Because when season 3 ended, dude, they're at the beach. They're finally like seeing the water. They're finally right near the country of Marley, from what we can assume. Now, why the heck would they just get that close to the country of Marley and be like, all right, guys, let's go back? So for the past 4 years, I'm thinking that they're there somewhere, and I bet we've seen them.
Okay, but my argument there is when they're talking about all 32 or 36 of their ships or something, that's a lot of ships. And so the generals and these leaders in the military, like, how did they do that? And they predict, they're like, they have to have at least 2 Titans. So I'm discrediting your argument that Eren, or at least that Eren or Armin, would be in Marley. They would be the 2 Titans, at least, that are on the shoreline defending Paradise. I think that the 4 years have been a buildup. They're not ready to go to war over the ocean. They were episodes 1, 2, and 3 ready to go to war to get out of Wall Maria, to get out of their own, like, just to get their island. So they're not prepared. Even when they make it to the water, they're not prepared for a battle across the ocean. So I think they're defending and they're building. I mean, they're building up, preparing for war. I think that's my prediction. I think you might be right, though. I think they could have sent some people in to gain intel. I mean, they'd have to. Otherwise, what do you have? Fog of war. You can't see anything. So yeah, I think, dude, you're spot on. I just don't think it's Eren or Armin. I think Eren and Armin are the ones who've been destroying the ships, and they're defending Paradise Island.
So the only reason why I think that they would have Eren go in along with a few others is because he's related to Zeke, and maybe he can talk to him or something like that. I don't know. For some reason, I don't think that they would need Eren back on Paradise, and Armin would be enough. The reason being is because Armin, now it's been 4 years since Armin has had the Colossal Titan powers, and Armin is a super strategic, super intelligent person.
Yeah, you're right.
He is undoubtedly much more intelligent than Bertolt, who was the previous carrier of the Colossal Titan. Yep. So this dude probably thought of some cool different ways to destroy those ships. Heck, we already saw the power of the Colossal Titan, of how he can steam and like build a bunch of heat, right? Yeah. Maybe Armin jumps in the water, in the sea, and releases that steam and boils those ships down. I don't know. Like, again, this is just a theory, but actually I'm just thinking about this now, but actually that sounds pretty dope. But yeah, that's just my guess.
Well, I'm going to go toe to toe with you on this, man, because they didn't, I have all my money that Eren is not at Marley. He's one of the only identifiable people. I mean, you have Reiner there. Who knows what Eren looks like? How is Eren going to blend in? They're going to know. They're going to see him immediately. if they're sending anyone in, it's a really big risk because there are people that already infiltrated Paradis. Zeke, Reiner, they could identify people like Eren or Armin and things like that. So they would have to send in like nobodies, people that they wouldn't recognize. So I still discredit. You could be right. I could be right. What? Let's move on. But it could be either one.
No, I don't want to move on yet. One more thing.
Okay,
because, all right, so again, sorry, people. This is what we do at Socially Anime. Like, yeah, again, man. This is why we brought everything here, because I'm always on the phone with these fools on Kuma, who's talking right now, and Onyx talking about this stuff and arguing and all that stuff. Of course, this is a spoiler review, but again, I got to just counter just one more thing with this. When you send somebody in for espionage or whatever, you're not going to send them in to be recognizable. You're going to put them in a disguise.
So he's going to be
Have you ever seen and I don't know, dude, but dude, you've seen You've seen Mission Impossible. You've seen all these things. Of course, they're not going to like have him going to freaking Marley with a shirt that says, "My name is Erenjaeger." Come on. No, man, he's got to have, these fools probably have some type of disguises. I mean, I don't know who they sent in, but of course they're going to have some disguises for the things that you just said. Reiner has seen them. Zeke has seen them.
Okay, so you're saying that they're just in disguise, a good enough disguise, they wouldn't be noticeable or traceable in that sense.
Yeah, good enough disguise, or maybe they're like super lowly. Again, Eldians are already treated like crap. So if they're from Paradis, there's no way that they can like fake being a Marley. So they're obviously going to be faking being an Eldian from Marley.
How do they determine that they're Eldian or Marleyan?
They're wearing that arm badge.
But that's what I'm saying. So if they're, and I was going to get to that. So you beat me to the punch. But if they're not wearing it again, and I think that's a really wonderful message.
So they get it. They make one.
So what you're saying, they would want to come as Eldians. They wouldn't want to come as Marleyans so they could penetrate the leaders and stuff?
There's no way that they would be able to come in as a Marleyan, dude.
As a Marleyan.
That's like too high of a status. You know what I mean? It'd be easier to be like,
wouldn't they
come in as a rat than a king,
But counter him blow for blow in this boxing match. Well, if they come in and they've been there for any amount of time, dude, they just talked about sending 800 of the Eldians to their death in a battle. So wouldn't at some point they get drafted or forced into a battle?
Maybe they are. Maybe they have been.
Military drafts.
Maybe they have been. Maybe they have been.
Okay, I'd be interested to see. I like your theories. I like my theories better. I'm not biased though. All right, cool, man. All right, I want to actually. So yeah, that first scene, it ends with Zeke obviously stating that he is a former Jaeger, like son of Jaeger, right? AKA, again, confirming that he is in fact Eren's brother, correct? Exactly. And I think we would have been more surprised, but I mean, we kind of figured that out ahead of time. But that was supposed to be the big shocker leading into the intro. So as always, the intro for me, I don't usually talk about it, but the episode introduction, for me, it's always the second episode usually where things that I didn't understand in the first intro obviously start making sense. And one of the big ones I noticed is there's a lot of explosions. We talked about it being a much darker intro, and we see these birds falling out of the sky dead. And those are obviously I would think the impact of large explosions, or even maybe things like the Colossal Titan with steam, but it's showing massive damage, Well, the very next scene in the intro, it's humans that are falling out of the sky. And I go, oh, right. Because in the first episode, they literally bombed the city with humans and turned them into Titans in midair. So I was like, okay, I think that's what they're going for. So I just wanted to say, I thought that was interesting, because then it started sinking into me. Because initially when I saw it, I was like, why are people falling headfirst out of the sky? Did you even watch the intro, or you just skipped it? What do you do?
No, I mean, I've seen the intro, and yeah, after watching the first episode, it's obviously the Titan bombardment. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so after the intro, then we go to basically the after effects of the meeting, right? Now we've got two Eldians talking, and these are big characters. We've got Colt and Zeke that are now talking. They're out on the balcony. This is obviously the city that they took over, because there are pieces of the roof that are missing, and you can see some of the damage left over, and they definitely occupy the city now. So they're basically discussing this whole thing of like, dude, I have a campaign now. It's only 1 year left until I'm done. And basically, Colt, you're going to inherit my Beast Titan or our Beast Titan, whatever you want to say, the power of the Beast Titan. And he's like, I just thought it was great when he's talking about, damn, I'm realizing like, okay, when you take over the Beast Titan, you're going to have access to my secrets. And Cole's like, what's your secret? And he's like, oh yeah, man, the special way that I wipe my ass. I'm like, oh my God. So obviously that's not the real secret, but what a nice way to hide it. Dude, I wipe my ass in a certain way. That's why I'm super awesome and I shit, So yeah, right at that. Then the Marlians, I'm so annoyed with the Marlians, dude. I'm just annoyed with them.
Yeah, Commander Magath comes in there.
Yep, he comes right in. He's like, what makes you think that you Eldians can like have any secrecy or privacy, right? Oh, I hate that. Oh, it makes me so agitated.
All right, so here's the thing. Commander Magath, he is very much an a-hole like they're portraying all the Marlians to be.
Yeah.
But the way his eyes look all like psycho and intense, like I think that, I hope that he, at the end of it, does something good, Yeah, and one more thing, like these two are talking. Obviously, we just had a whole discussion about it. Zeke isn't telling Colt the secret about him being of royal blood. And they were even talking about it when they first started the conversation. Zeke's like, oh, like, I'm sorry I threw you under the bus in front of the war counselor, Colt's like, oh, that's no problem.
Yeah.
He starts talking about the secrets or whatever. This is crazy, man. Like, I'm still so confused and I'm kind of aggravated. Like, I still don't know what the heck's going on, man. Like, is Zeke really trying to fight the Marlians? Like, what is going on? All right, let's continue.
I love that you say that, but yeah, I can never fault Attack on Titan for its complexity. I can't deny that it has deep inset stories and it takes a little bit of concentration and a lot of background research if you really want to be able to say, oh, I know everything in Attack on Titan. Right on to the next scene. So we have Reiner, who basically got pretty beat up in this recent battle. And there's a lot of animosity when Reiner wakes up. Reiner, he wakes up and Galliard is already, and dude, you mentioned this before, right? You told me
he's throwing that salt. He's throwing that salt. I should the Armored Titan. I'd be mad too, man.
Yeah, dude. So there's already some salt going on. So it's like there's a big juxtaposition there. He's like, yeah, dude, like I'm sitting next to your bed, I know, almost in a caring way. Like, oh, it seemed like you were having a good dream, so I didn't want to wake you up. But then now you're awake. I'm gonna throw some spice at you and be like, I should have been the one that gets the Armored Titan. My question is the Armored, okay, you might actually win. We've argued about this before. Is the Armored Titan really all that? My God, like why is the Armored Titan such a commodity? Like, dude, you have a Titan, you have the Jaw Titan. Isn't that amazing enough?
Compared
not enough.
I mean, I would just say, just added I don't know all the powers that the Jaw Titan has, but just looking at it, the Armored Titan is better because he has ultimate defense and he has like extra hardening. Like Titans, yeah, I think they all can do like that hardening skill, but he has that like times 10.
I think also, as I think about it, if you look at their ultimate size, how big they are, I think the Armored Titan is way bigger.
Yeah,
than the Jaw Titan. So okay, I can see that. So Galliard is a little resentful, a little jealous, man, a little bit jelly, and he's gonna have to get over that, man. I just felt that about his character right off the bat. They had some discussions about Ymir, and that's where I'm saying a lot of it is very complex, and I think you got to look into a lot of background to figure that out. So Reiner, he's out of the bed now, and he's healing and whatnot, and this is where he kind of, to me, it's a reuniting of him with basically the kids, right? These are the candidates for the next generation of Titans, right?
Particularly the Armored Titan, yeah.
Particularly the Armored Titan, but okay, and I have a lot to say about that, but okay, so as Reiner is coming over, the kids automatically are all excited to see him. So this is showing to me right off the bat, they've got a background with him. And I don't really know how, because Reiner left when he was 12. But okay, it's been 4 years. Okay, so maybe the past 4 years.
Oh, okay,
really
yeah, the past
on them, right?
Yes, the past 4 years.
Because they were super excited when they saw him. So they like Reiner. They run over. They're like, "Oh, you're doing better." They're so happy for him and all these things, right?
Yeah.
And in this instance, you've got the 4 potential candidates to take on the armored Titan, right? And you've got Udo, right? You've got Zofia. Who else is it? Falco, of course. And then you've got Gabby. So there's the 4 of them standing there, and boom, your boy Reiner, he has this flashback. Did you catch that?
Yeah, man, dude has PTSD.
He has
Hardcore.
PTSD,
And
dude.
he has PTSD, and he's had problems since he was on Paradis. Remember, he had basically a split personality where he legit forgot why he was there. But again, with I don't know what's going on. Why is he there? Why was he in Paradis? Was he really
Dude, you're right. So kudos to the creators, man, because you still have us guessing. We haven't figured it out yet. So
yeah, Isayama Hajime, the author of Attack on Titan.
Kudos to you, brother. Man,
yeah, he's good, man.
Good job. Sometimes a lot of times I love to be challenged, and if I can figure it out too quickly, I don't like it. So kudos. Okay, so did you catch who the flashback kids were?
I think going from left to right, the one on the far left, I would guess is him, Reiner, and then the one next. Okay, so I'm wrong on that one. That's fine. Anyway, one of them is definitely Bertolt.
Yes.
Another one is Galliard, and the other one is the female Titan.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Yeah,
okay,
Annie.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That was a Michael Jackson throwback. May he rest in peace.
No, you're welcome. I didn't say thank you for that. Who's the one I? Who's
I know
the one
you
I'm
were feeling
missing?
it though. You wanted to.
No. Who was the other one that I missed?
Dude, no. It's not that you missed it. It's just out of order. From the way that it looked to me with the hairstyle, the far left is Galliard.
Oh God, out of order, this freaking guy. So I got it. You're wrong, even though you got all the names right. Get your ass out of here.
You did say them correctly, although I have one big question out of the 4. But yes, right. I think it's very, very apparent that it's Galliard on the far left. The middle left is Bertolt, the colossal dude who's now dead. Now, the next one over, the middle right, the reason that I'm like, okay, he should be Reiner, but his hair is brown. So
yeah, that's why I'm saying that's Galliard. That's Galliard. That's why I'm thinking that's Galliard.
No. Galliard's got to be. Hey, if anybody would like to comment so that I can prove Goke wrong, can y'all like post in the comments and let me know who's on the far left, who's middle left, who's middle right, who's far right.
I'm laughing at this idiot. Annie, are you okay? God dang, dude, you're so stupid.
Yo, Michael Jackson, man, I feel for you, dude. I always wanted to go to the Neverland Ranch. Kind of messed up. You didn't invite me, but whatever. Anyways, if y'all know who is on the far left and who is on the middle right, please let me know. My guess is far left is Galliard. Middle right, I guess, is Reiner. I'm just thrown off because he doesn't have blonde hair. So I don't know. I'm thrown off.
Dude, one more thing. Just talking about this scene. When this scene is over, there is someone looking down at Reiner and the kids from on a building with long hair. And again, I think that is either Eren, it could be Levi, it could be Eren, or it could be somebody else from Paradis. I think that's somebody from Paradis, dude. I think that they've been there for 4 years, dude.
Okay, I support your theory. My only condition is that it's not Eren. That's my condition. It's not Eren. It might. Oh, it looked like a chick. What if it's Mikasa? Dude, what if it's
Mikasa? Yeah, maybe it's Mikasa. Yeah.
Okay, my mind is blown. It might be Mikasa. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, you might be right. I'll give you that. All right, we are moving on to title reference: The Midnight Train. Yes, sir. So they're on the train. They are coming back from battle. Of course, we have train segregation, right? We have all the Eldians are on one train car. We have the Marlians on another. Now, I think it was a little refreshing to me that when they're celebrating, the one Marlian dude is like, "Oh, I'm gonna shut them up," and the other dude's like, "No, like let them go. It's all good." Did you notice the separation though? Because where was your boy Falco?
Falco and Reiner are in the same cart as Colt and Gabby as they're watching them get
No. Gabby is the
drunk.
one that's yelling. Gabby, she's getting lifted. She's in
Yes,
the
and they're
car.
watching them celebrate, and they're looking at them, and Colt's like, "Ah, man, nobody should let my brother get a hold of alcohol." And then, they're both looking at Gabby and how excited she is, and then that's when they get into like Reiner's like, "Nah, man, you're right. We gotta save Gabby from this hell. I don't want her to get the armor titan either. You gotta save her from this." So
Okay,
yeah.
but what does that mean? That was my question coming up. So you're right. Quoted, he says, "You have to rescue Gabby from the dark future that awaits us." So, well, okay, what? So she is the candidate, outwardly at least, that is going to be she's the best candidate in everyone else's eyes to inherit the armored titan, right? But Reiner is saying that there's a dark future that awaits us. I didn't catch that. What is he saying? Like,
Are you really asking me, or are you trying to lead me on here?
I mean, a little bit of both, dude. But I mean,
Don't lead me on,
don't.
you gosh darn. No, just talk straight. This is us. This is socially anime here. I want to have this conversation. Talk straight. Don't lead me on. All
It's
right.
gonna connect to so much more. But I think that he's saying that Falco is definitely the better candidate behind the scenes, because what does Falco really want? Falco wants to get the Eldians out of the battle. He wants to avoid conflict, and yet Gabby is the one that is cheering. Oh yeah, we tore him up. Like, oh, did it? She's cheering. She's outward going, but all the battle and the stuff. You notice even in the first episode, she's gung ho for it. She loves it. She runs into battle. She doesn't mind. She'll straight up bomb the tank, knock it off the tracks. All these
Kuma.
things, and I think Reiner is saying like, dude, this issue needs to come to an end. And I have a lot more I want to say about that too. When Reiner's saying it needs to come to an end, what does he really mean by that? But I think this is why behind the scenes, he's saying, yes, you have to rescue Gabby from the dark future that awaits us. Meaning, like, we need to get out of all this bullcrap with the wars and the Eldians being put down and targeted by everybody, the Titans becoming basically useless in the future, all the above. And I think Falco is the true lead for that. He's the one that's like, I got to pay attention to all these other things. I got to do the right thing. He ultimately wants that. And I think Gabby is too stuck in almost
Kool-Aid.
like shame.
Gabby drank the Kool-Aid. All right, so first off, Kuma, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Dude, see, from now on, just go in, man, because when you go in, it's like a punch to the stomach, because I didn't even think of that. Dude, I appreciate that much, much more. Dude,
I just feel like I need to express myself sometimes.
Shut up. Dude, that was such a great, dude, I didn't even think of that. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to repeat what you just said. Let's go.
Well, thank you, sir. I much appreciate your feedback and everything on that. So that is what I got from the Midnight Train. Now we are back in the home base. Everybody's coming home from war, right? And this is always a sentimental, emotional thing in real life as well. For the parents, the wives, the kids, anybody that has a family member that is sent into battle, of course, this is tumultuous. You're worried. Is the person ever going to come back? So very emotional scene all around. Love it though, because the disparity, like I just talked about, happens again. Falco, Gabby, Reiner, I mean, everybody that's coming back has family. Mother, even Zeke, grandma, grandpa, everybody has family.
Even Zeke.
Even Zeke, yeah.
Who are those people though? Who are those people?
The grandma and granddad. There's a lot more.
Yes, so many questions. All right.
So many questions, exactly. I'm just going to skip straight to my boy right now, Falco, the behind the scenes superhero. Gabby is doing what? Getting celebrated, right? The family's like, Gabby, mom and dad hugging her, and she's on cloud nine. She gets off the train, she's cheering. Falco's kind of like a little bit broody in the background because he's thinking of the bigger picture. And as he comes in, yes, Falco also gets greeted and things like that. But what does he do while Gabby is celebrating? Your boy, Falco, goes to the soldiers that are punished by post-traumatic stress disorder. And a Marlian is the guy that's basically ragging on them. Well,
it's that same fat guy. It's that same Marlian.
Oh, I hate that guy. Yeah. And he's basically belittling their real life problem. PTSD is not a joke in real life. I mean, it really it F's you up. There's no other way to look at it. Falco comes over and he's like, oh, are these our guys? They're obviously Eldian. The Marlians are kind of ragging on them.
Not kind of ragging on them.
I mean,
They're
yeah, you're right.
One of
They're
them
totally trashing them.
making loud noises, even though they just got out of battle. And these guys are the trench. Yeah, these guys are the trench diggers, so they really, really have it. It's so disgusting, man.
Agreed.
Like this was hard to watch, actually. These scenes are very, very hard to watch for me.
Yeah.
Man.
You're completely right. And hey, real talk, all joking aside, I sometimes personify this, or I look at it and I go, because you got to think about World War II, World War I trenches, real life, that's what it was. And I always used to think that, well, who dug these trenches? And in this, they're saying like, these are the dudes on the front line digging trenches while being shot at, being bombed. And said, that's not a joke in any way. So I thought about that and realized that, can you imagine being drafted into the military, forced out there, and they're like, hey, we're going to hide in these trenches in the back while you go ahead and put yourself in danger and dig trenches. And they're belittling them, making fun of them. That was heavy, man. Heavy, dark kind of scene. But the hero comes in, Falco, and he's like at least trying to do something to help. He's not really successful, but at least he sees it, recognizes it, while everybody else is kind of like, oh, we're happy to be back. We won the battle. Everything is cool. Falco is still talking about, yo, right back tomorrow with training. You know, I'm going to take care of these PTSD dudes. And he's a young boy. Man, kudos to Falco. Moving forward, so we have Gabby and Reiner, and they're having dinner. And I'm already like, okay, wait. They're having dinner together. So is Reiner a guest? And then at one point,
they're like, family. They're family. They're like cousins. No, they are. They are family. Gabby is Reiner's cousin.
There you go. You said cousin, but I'm not gonna lie. Initially I was like, wait. Is that his sister? Because they talked about it's because the woman who is technically Gabby's aunt or Reiner's mom, she's like, oh, you know, it's really great to know that we're gonna end up with 2 Titans in the family. And I'm like, 2 Titans in the family. I'm like, wait. So they're brother and sister. And then I was like, no. Okay, they're cousins. Okay. And then later on, Gabby actually even says aunt. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I get it. So they're cousins, like you said. So yeah, definitely confirming that. Very, very, a lot of this whole episode, a lot of build up, a lot of background. They have to do a lot of that for such a complex story, but they talk a lot at this dinner about the Eldians, hating the Eldians. And you talked about it earlier, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but yeah, they're calling the Eldians on Paradise Island devils, you know, the Paradise Island devils, and they're blaming them. They're like, they're the ones that abandoned us, and they're the ones that, so hard, man. Come on. Why are they not focusing on the Marlians, man? Like, do you not see that it's the Marlians?
Because when again, it sucks, man. And this happens in this society too. And it happens in other, I mean, as this society I'm talking about, you know, he and I, we at Socially Anime for right now are living in the United States, and all three, well, two out of 3 of us are from the United States. Onyx is from Japan.
But yes, sir.
Divide and conquer. That's what it is, man. Like, these guys sitting at the table, after we see how disgusting the Marlians are treating the Eldians, after this, these guys are calling them the other Eldians on Paradise Island devils, and they just have nothing but disgusting things to say about them. And it's so confusing because Reiner goes into his story about his 5 years on Paradise Island, and you know, he's like, you know, they were bad. He's basically saying they were terrible. But then at one point at the very end, his mom looks just very disgusted and shocked, and then she closes the window. So it's like, I think they know that they're always being listened to. They are always being listened to, and of course somebody of their high stature is being listened to as well. So I think that's kind of maybe why she closed the door, because she didn't want anything to be interpreted as like him descending, aka like even showing a sense of, even a small sense of dissension against the Marlians. But also, like, after the dinner, Gabby asks, were they really all bad? Yeah, this story, I just can't wait to see what happens next. It's because Reiner
I have a lot of predictions, and I love that you brought that up, because the closing the window was symbolic to me for a completely different reason. To me, that was symbolic of shutting the door on the truth. Because did you believe anything that Reiner was whining about? I was like, dude, you were the evil person. Like, you were the one that betrayed and tried to kill. you had it good. Like, so all these things that he's saying, like, they didn't really, he sounded like he was in hell. He was in purgatory when he was talking about being on Paradise Island. And I'm like, I think he kind of had it pretty good, right? He went to the academy.
He has to say that,
trusted him and loved him. He was the one that betrayed them. This dude is crazy. He's off his rocker. And I feel like that was symbolic when he's throwing and he's spewing all these lies. To me, they're just lies and lies and lies. He was the one that defected and tried to F them up. And the aunt is so shocked is because she's getting inseminated with lies. And it's only building up her hatred for other Eldians, AKA conditioning. And going over to the window to me is symbolic for, that's the truth. That's the only way that you can get the truth. And she's shutting the window on the truth. You're blocking us in, you're lying to, we're going to close the, and now I'm boxed in and I believe what it is that you're saying. I'm going to continue to think that these Eldians on Paradise Island are devils, even though they're not. And, you know, like you said, that they could be listened in on and things like that. But I thought that was symbolic of like being shut in. Like, you know, they're like, oh my God, you know, that's so crazy. We're going to close the door on learning the truth. We're going to just continue to believe they're evil and devils, even though they're really not.
Yeah. I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that at all. But like her face though was just like shocked. Like I don't know what was up with that. Like he didn't say anything. Like he didn't say anything that crazy.
Listen, he did. You said, oh, he didn't say that many like crazy things, or he didn't say, dude, one of his arguments was, yeah, and then when I was living there, one dude picked up a potato and then they shared it, but they didn't give him the bigger half. So they don't know how to consolidate or work together. What? That's your argument? That's why you're saying they don't have consideration for one another, and that's what makes them devils. That is the dumbest. What? A potato? So wait. The dude was eating a potato, and then they didn't give him the bigger half? That's what makes, I think that's, I don't know. I think there's more to it. Maybe I can't explain it perfectly, but I feel like his arguments were weak, man. They were weak arguments. They were not good at all.
Well, I just don't get it. The person he was talking about with the potato is Sasha. Remember Sasha? She was always eating and she was always obsessed with food. I think that's who he was talking about. And that's, but regardless, he has to, he is being listened to. They're all being listened to all the time. We know that. So he has to continue to say all these lies.
So are you telling me, okay, so at the end of this scene, it looks like somebody fell off the roof. But now that you keep saying that, are you telling me that was someone listening in?
I think that was a suicide. I think
a
suicide.
Too,
yeah. Didn't they say it? Like they said it was a suicide. Yeah.
Who was it though?
Dude, I have like 15 million questions right now. Let's just keep going.
Okay. All we know for the listeners, for the viewers, all I know is some dude fell off the roof. I don't know if it looked like a suicide to me. I think he went head first, but I don't know. Now I'm skeptical because Goke was saying that they're being listened to. So is this the dude? Was he technically standing over the window when the aunt closed the window? And he was dipping out? I don't know. I have no clue. Yeah, I give up. I don't know, man.
Dude, maybe he was one of the people from Paradise looking in on Reiner. Just keep going. We
give up.
I give up.
So we're getting close to the end. Yeah, this is the final scene. So we have what I consider the meeting of the Eldians, right? And so this is a very similar meeting like the beginning of this episode, but what we're missing is the Marlians, right? These are all Eldians now meeting. And when they're meeting up, it's very, very apparent. Zeke is like, yo, let's not talk about this right now. He makes a statement like that becomes really powerful later. And I think that's a good foreshadowing that they're going to be talking kind of in secret or in codes in a way, because as Goke mentioned earlier, they're being listened to. So I feel like for all of this, there's got to be an underlying message. And I got my theories and everything, but they bring up this Tibur, do you pronounce it Tibur family? And that they're going to be the narrators, right? So this is the family that's been on the back burner. Like they've not been on the forefront of anything, but they have the Warhammer Titan. Well, what the heck is the Warhammer Titan?
Another question.
I don't even know what that is.
Another question. But here's another question.
Okay.
If these guys have something if this family has a Titan called the Warhammer Titan, how in the world have they been able to evade war all these years? It doesn't even if they're a extremely wealthy family, them being Eldians, the devils of Ymir,
Yeah.
how could they have avoided it? I'm looking forward to seeing this family too. Like what are they all about? What are they?
I agree. I want to see who they are. I want to see what this Warhammer Titan is. My theory to answer, to gesticulate on your question is, they mentioned that this Tiber family had a lot to do with kicking out the king, right, over to Paradise Island way back in the day. So did that gain them or grant them kind of like exoneration that they would be left alone because they were so pivotal in that initial battle where they drove out the Eldian king that first populated Paradise Island? Is that why they've been able to be on the down low for so long and not be called to war and everything like that? Did they gain a status? Is my question. It's a great question, and we'll have to see going forward. But Goke mentioned them being listened in on. That is not just hinted at, it's shown that the Marleyans are listening in on their whole conversation. So it's terrible. There's no loyalty. The Eldians work with the Marleyans out of fear. And Falco shows that really, really hardcore when they're on the train. He's on the train and he's talking to Reiner, and Reiner, basically is like, "What did you say?" And he's like, "Oh, I do this to serve Marley, and I want to get rid of the," and so it shows that they're a lot of this is just running out of fear. They're running on fear and not necessarily that they truly believe. And I use that as the lead-in to my theory at the end. So they're talking about this whole 1-year plan, because Zeke is on last year. This dude's got 365 and it's game over no matter what he does. So the clock is ticking, and at the end he's stating, am I going back to that island? Okay, but okay, let me you told me to be straight up, I'm being straight up. All right, so my theory, there is another plan behind it all. The Eldians currently are showing that the Eldians in Marley hate and dislike and trash the devil Eldians on Paradise Island. But I think Zeke, I think he has some redemption, man. I can't say I know anything, but I would say that my guess is that the Eldians that are from Marley currently are going to unite in Paradise because their tether is coming to an end in Marley. They're getting ready to have weapons that are going to overpower them. They've been in subjugation for hundreds of years, right? And they've been conditioned to believe falsehoods about their brethren, the Eldians that are on Paradise Island. And I think that your boy Reiner, for his craziness, he's going to be a screw in the plan. And that's because he's so back and forth. But I feel like Zeke and everything, I think there's going to be a union, dude. I think at the end, I think the Eldians are going to join up in this 1-year campaign back on Paradise Island when he's talking. I think he's going to use the Marleyans, right, that are going to give him permission to go to the island. But I think his real plan is in a year is going to be uniting the Eldians on Paradise Island. What do you think? Long exhale. Yeah, dude.
God.
Yeah,
well, and that's it. No, that was a lot.
Man.
I do think that Reiner is going to have a redemption arc.
Okay.
Personally, because he's just been such a despicable and very back and forth person. We do have a bit of sympathy for him because of everything that he's been through. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping to see a redemption arc with him. Zeke, I guess that's what's going on here, is that Zeke and Reiner are trying to hook up with the other Eldians. I'm not going to repeat everything you just said. And I thought that maybe this was evident when the council is finished and all of these Titan Eldians are walking out of the room. Reiner takes a look at the record player. I don't know what that thing is called, like what it's really called, but it's like the old school record player. And he's looking at it side-eyed when he gets up. So he knows that he's being listened to, which leads me to believe that they are speaking in code. And even the people who are listening were like, oh, whatever. They're all saying the same stupid stuff that they're always saying. But one of the people who's taking down notes is saying, yeah, everything is pretty much the same, except for the one thing that Zeke said, which is not in this room. So they caught
a little bit
that something is up.
so much, so much. Let me give you my final prediction on all of this, right? So when I was a young boy, Goke knows this.
Go.
Let me show this can show how long we've known each other, dude. When I was little, my favorite, it wasn't an anime at all, but it was Japanese of origin. My favorite show of all time when I was a little kid.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh my God, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you're too young to know that, I guarantee. Okay, I can't guarantee. I recommend.
Well, I mean, Power Rangers is
still going on now.
Every generation. It never stops.
Okay, good point. Okay, Power Rangers, right? So this is my theory. I am connecting Power Rangers to Attack on Titan. They are going to, by the end of this doggone final season, they're going to collect all of the 9 Titans on Paradise Island, and they're going to go, all right, it's morphin time. Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Saber-tooth Tiger. Yeah, and they're all going to combine. They're going to combine into the Megazord, and they're going to take over the whole world. Dude, come on. What happens when you have all 9 Titans? No one has ever had all 9, right?
I don't know if no one's ever had all 9.
No one's ever had all 9. They're going to transform into the freaking Titan Zord, and they're going to take over the world. Dude, that's my theory. Hashtag Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Love it. All day, every day.
Oh. We're off the rails.
Dude, were we ever on the rails with Attack on
Titan? No, we were never on the rails
so
with this conversation, with this spoiler review. Man, well, if you managed to listen to this whole spoiler review of episode 2, thank you. And if you liked anything that we had to say, please drop us a like and let us know your predictions on what the deal is with Zeke and Reiner in the comments below. We'll see you next time on our next review here at Socially Anime. We'll see you later.
And don't forget, it's morphin time. Mastodon, go Goke.
See ya.
Oh, come on. Dang it. I almost got it.